It's beautiful. I wish I could have met her.
This is what Meghan had to say after the interviewer read Harry's past quote about how she reminds him of his mom, Princess Diana, her compassion, her empathy, and her warmth. And on this anniversary of Diana's passing, the contrast between Harry's heartfelt words and Meghan's brief response feels even more striking. Let's break down why this moment feels so disconnected and what happens next when Meghan pivots the conversation back to herself. But before we begin, here's the intro. Welcome to Revealing the Narc. Join me as I highlight narcissistic traits in celebrities and public figures. Everything here is in my opinion and not professional advice. If you enjoy the analysis, please like and subscribe. Hi, everyone. I know that I've taken sort of a break over the last few days. I watched a few episodes of With Love Meghan, and I've been markled out. Like, I've literally taken a 6-day break from her, and I'm back. What I wanted to do today was talk about Meghan's reaction to Harry's heartfelt words about his mom. Meghan's response is so off. And in this video, we'll talk about emotional withholding. We'll talk about how Jamie overcompensates during the interview and how Meghan, as usual, pivots the conversation back to herself. What I'm going to do first is play the clip in its entirety. Here it is.
So Harry said publicly, so much of what Meghan is and how she is so similar to my mom. She has the same compassion. She has the same empathy. She has the same confidence. She has this warmth about her. How do you feel about him sharing that?
It's beautiful. I wish I could have met her.
Let's pause there really quick. I don't see any emotional reaction from Meghan at all. Let's look at a few moments that I thought were interesting. Here's the first one.
So Harry said publicly.
This is the moment that Jamie is introducing the topic. And I think this moment just makes me laugh because Meghan makes it seem like it's some type of evil plan that's moving forward. I made a funny meme about this. I'll put that here. Jamie says Harry has so publicly said, and she makes it seem like this is a plot that Meghan, I don't know, this is the impression I'm getting, that there was a secret plan that was in place to get Harry to say these things. Let's watch the next moment. This is when Jamie says so much of Meghan is similar to his mom.
So similar to my mom.
I see a completely emotionless, non-sentimental expression on her face. She doesn't feel, to me, she doesn't look like she's connected to this conversation, to this topic at all, even though it really is an important emotional subject. And then Jamie goes on to describe the characteristics that Meghan shares with Diana, according to Harry, and this is her reaction to that.
She has this warmth about her.
Expressionless, lack of connection and empathy. And if I were to summarize, Meghan's response to this topic being approached is just a lack of connection. Now let's get into what Meghan's response was to Jamie's question.
It's beautiful. I wish I could have met her.
I'm feeling viscerally so happy because I feel like people are I feel like they're really here with us in the rocking chair.
Yeah.
You know, there's stuff about you I had no idea. And I think I know a lot.
Yeah.
And I had no idea.
But just like the essence of a person, even one of my friends, Marcus, but Marcus will see certain things and he goes, oh, there's my friend.
Yeah.
Okay, let's stop here. Meghan, there's a lot that just happened. Meghan is given an opportunity here to talk about Harry, his mom, Meghan's connection, some sort of bond between Harry and Meghan. And all we get is this.
It's beautiful. I wish I could have met her. It's beautiful. I wish I could have met her.
A completely disingenuous response. How many words is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. 9 words. It's beautiful. I wish I could have met her. And the way that it's set up is that there's no opening for a deeper conversation, no elaboration, no emotional cue, and no invitation for Jamie to continue exploring Diana. And this is why we see Jamie go on to, I'm feeling so viscerally happy because I feel like they're really here with us. So Jamie is trying to bring emotion back into the conversation, implying that Diana is or could be here with us. She's trying to fill the emotional gap that Meghan left open. What Meghan is doing here is called emotional withholding. It's giving minimal emotional engagement when depth is expected. When someone says just enough to sound appropriate but avoids truly connecting emotionally, that's emotional withholding. This is something that's very common in relationships with narcissistic traits. It leaves you feeling like you're reaching for connection, but the person never meets you halfway. So, for example, you can open up about your feelings to someone and say, I really miss my mom today. And they respond, yeah, that's tough. And then they move on. Or you share something exciting. You say, I finally got the promotion I've been working so hard for. And they say, oh, cool. No smile, no follow up, no shared celebration. When you ask a vulnerable question like, do you love me? And they reply with, of course, but they give no warmth, no reassurance, and immediately change the subject. Over time, you feel unseen and unmet, like the emotional weight is always on you to carry. And that if you were to stop carrying it, the connection would die. And I think this is exactly why Jamie overcompensates by talking about how they're really here with us. She almost lifts the energy herself to keep the moment warm and meaningful, but Meghan doesn't follow her lead and pivots the conversation back to herself. And it's in this moment that Jamie says, there's stuff about you I had no idea about, and I know a lot. That line doesn't fit the conversation at all. It's slightly disconnected. And it's because Jamie realizes that Meghan isn't expanding on Diana and she's trying to redirect the topic. The line feels like a transition statement, signaling Jamie's subtle pivot away from the Diana conversation. And I think Jamie sensed that the topic was emotionally closed for Meghan and she wanted to keep the conversation flowing. Now let's finish up with the rest of the video.
There's stuff about you I had no idea. And I think I know a lot.
Yeah.
And I had no idea.
But just like the essence of a person, even one of my friends, Marcus, but Marcus will see certain things and he goes, oh, there's my friend.
Yes.
And gets so excited when you can see me reflected in a way that's the me that you know.
Yes.
And so what a gift that is.
It's just so,
yeah, letting me be.
Thank you for letting me be.
How in the world did we get here? Somehow this sentimental quote from Harry results in Meghan taking over the conversation. She shifts it completely toward her own identity. She says, when you get to see the me that's reflected in the friend that you know. This might sound so familiar to many of you, how you enter a conversation talking about something. You're hoping to have some form of emotional connection with someone, and the conversation gets derailed. This shows that Meghan is more comfortable centering herself rather than reflecting on Harry's emotional statement. And this is an example of self-referencing pivoting, when someone takes a heartfelt or intimate moment and redirects the focus back on themselves. This is something else that's extremely common in narcissistic dynamics. Many of you will instantly recognize it. You may share something vulnerable, like I've been missing my dad a lot lately, and they reply, yeah, I know exactly how you feel. When my coworker's neighbor went through that, it really affected me. In this example, they're trying to demonstrate empathy. They're trying to equate their pain with someone so distant with the intimate pain you feel of losing someone significant. I actually have an example of this that I want to share with all of you. When I separated from my husband, we had been together over 10 years. I had 2 stepkids with him. So for me, the loss was not just a divorce, not just a relationship and a future, but also 2 children that were in my life for so long that I loved. At the time, I had grown my friendship with someone, and this person had gone on 3 dates with someone, and the person ghosted them. We talked more about her pain than mine. She equated her 3 dates to 10 years of marriage. And it's so invalidating to have conversations like that. This person didn't want to hear at all about what I was going through and what I was going with. They just wanted to dump their emotional pain on me. And unfortunately, when you see this in a person, at least in my experience, it doesn't get better as the friendship continues. Their hardship is always compared to yours, even though yours is a significantly more difficult situation to go through. It's very important because your emotional moment becomes their story. And over time, this pattern leaves you feeling invisible. Like no matter what you share, the focus always shifts back to them. And it doesn't just have to be a painful experience. You could celebrate an accomplishment like finishing your degree, and they respond, "Oh, I remember when I got mine. Mine was so much harder though." Or you express some type of physical pain. You could say, "I had a terrible migraine yesterday." And they answer, "Oh, that's nothing. Mine lasted 3 days." It's invalidating and there's no intimacy. The goal of sharing this with someone is to form some form of emotional connection, feel some sort of comfort, but it's impossible when the moment becomes theirs over and over and over again. So let's summarize what happened in this clip. Harry's heartfelt words about Diana opened a door for emotional connection. Jamie followed the path, inviting Meghan to reflect, and instead, Meghan pivots the moment back to herself, centering her friendships, her identity, and her being seen. The whole exchange begins with Harry's Diana comment, which sets up a moment for emotional connection. Meghan acknowledges but doesn't engage, creating subtle tension. Jamie tries to rescue the moment emotionally, then quickly realizes it's not landing, and then she pivots with a transition line that doesn't fully fit, signaling that she's just trying to get the conversation moving. Meghan then seizes the pivot and redirects the focus onto herself. This mismatch in emotional focus is why this exchange feels so unsettling. It mirrors what many of you have experienced with narcissistic partners, parents, or friends. I'm curious to know what you all think about this. If you feel comfortable sharing, please drop it in the comments. If this was interesting to you, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you'll know every time I drop a new video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you're looking for a meaningful way to support something beyond the screen, I'd love for you to consider making a donation to the National Domestic Violence Hotline in lieu of super chats and super stickers. They provide 24/7 support and resources for people in unsafe or overwhelming situations, whether that's emotional, physical, or just hard to name. Their information is on the screen should you need to contact them, and you'll find the link to donate in the description of this video. Every little bit helps, and it means a lot. Thank you again for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.